was cleaning out my old billfold, looking for a fishing license card, when a faded grocery receipt slipped out on the garage floor. June 18th, 2004, milk, coffee, eggs, and bread. At the bottom in your handwriting, don't forget, I love you. I'd carried it for 22 years without even knowing. You wrote it while I loaded groceries, smiling like you always did. Said one day you'll find this little note, then laugh before you kissed me. And 3 months later came the phone call, a drunk drive across the line. Some days still feel frozen somewhere back in that July. That receipt in my wallet turned out to be a love letter. Not expensive, not fancy, just 6 little words that outlived everything else. Funny how forever can fit on a piece of paper most folks would have thrown away. Our daughter turns 25 this Sunday. She's got your laugh, your stubborn heart, and somehow your handwriting too. I showed her that old receipt. She smiled through tears and said, Mom knew you'd keep it, even if you didn't know you had. Yesterday she surprised me at the grocery store. When I got home I opened the bag of coffee. Inside was another receipt. At the bottom it said, don't forget, we love you. Now there's 2 receipts in my wallet, 22 years apart. One from the woman who taught me how to love, one from the daughter who taught me love never really leaves. It just finds a new handwriting. First time I saw her was a Friday in May at a roadside market off Highway 61. She was buying wildflowers with dirt on her jeans, laughing like she didn't need anyone. A Tennessee sunset painted gold in her hair while she loaded up an old Ford bed. And for reasons I still can't explain, I couldn't get her out of my head. She rented a little white house by the river with a porch swing and a blue front front door. Every Sunday she'd leave fresh wildflowers on the graves of folks she'd never known before. She said everybody deserves to be remembered, even if nobody calls their name. That's when I knew my life was changing, and I'd never be the same. She left wildflowers everywhere she went, in broken hearts and fences bent, in small town souls that needed light. She turned ordinary into bright, and somehow she found this worn out man, taught these rough old hands to hold again. Yeah, love grew where nobody thought it could. She left wildflowers where she stood. That October underneath the maple trees, I got down on one knee by the riverbank. The leaves were falling around us slow, and I could barely get the words out straight. She laughed and cried at the same time, said, "Boy, what took you so long?" and slipped her hand into mine like that's where it'd been all along. She left wildflowers everywhere she went, in broken hearts and fences bent, in small town souls that needed light. She turned ordinary into bright, and somehow she found this worn out man, taught these rough old hands to hold again. Yeah, love grew where nobody thought it could. She left wildflowers where she stood. Now there's a little girl with her mama smile, running barefoot through the yard, picking flowers by the riverside, leaving them in mason jars. And every time I see that scene, I thank the Lord above for the woman who showed me kindness could become the deepest kind of love. Yeah, she left wildflowers everywhere she went, and every dream and every blessing sent, and every sunset on the porch at night, and every reason my world feels right. When we rode in gray together, rocking slow beneath the evening sky, I'll still be falling for that girl with wildflowers in her eyes. Yeah, some people leave footprints in the dirt. She left wildflowers in my life. First snow hit the fence lines yesterday, dusting all the cattle trails in white. I was patching up a gate on the north side ranch when I saw her truck roll in at twilight. 3 years gone since she drove away, leaving nothing but a note and a ring. Now she's standing by the old windmill like she never missed a thing. She said, I heard your mama wasn't doing well, and she looked down at her hands, the same hands that used to hold mine tight back when we made all our plans. The mountains stood silent in the distance, like they knew we had words left unsaid. And every mile she traveled since then was written in her eyes instead. Under this Montana sky tonight, the stars are burning clear and bright, like they never stopped believing we'd find our way through every lonely mile and every hard goodbye. If love's a fire, hearts never die. It just waited through the cold and time, and here we are beneath that endless light, under this Montana sky tonight. Mama smiled when she walked through the door, like a prayer had finally come true. Coffee steamed on the kitchen table, and the whole room felt brand new. We talked until the moon climbed high, about the years we can't get back. Then she reached across and touched my hand, and somehow closed every crack. Under this Montana sky tonight, the stars are burning clear and bright, like they never stopped believing we'd find our way through every lonely mile and every hard goodbye. If love's a fire, hearts never die. It just waited through the cold and time, and here we are beneath that endless light, under this Montana sky tonight. The wind still sings across the prairie grass, and tomorrow ain't promised to anyone. So I pulled her close and whispered low, I'm done running from what we've become. Under this Montana sky tonight, I can finally see my life, not in the dreams I chased too far away, but in the arms that held on through the fight. The mountains watch, the stars still shine, and for the first time the future feels right. Yeah, forever starts right here tonight, under this The auction sign went up in June beside the county road, right where my granddad carved his name in a cedar fence post. 80 years of Oklahoma dirt, 3 generations deep, was gonna leave our family when that auctioneer would speak. The drought had hit us hard that year, then harder still the next. Bank notices stacked on the table like a pile of unpaid debts. I watched my father stare across those fields of dying grain, like a captain watching helpless while his ship sank in the rain. By auction day the whole town came, pickups lined the lane, neighbors leaning on the fences underneath the sky of gray. The tractor stood like soldiers waiting for a final call, and every tool inside that barn held memories on its walls. The auctioneer climbed on the trailer, cleared his throat and smiled, started reading numbers fast while Mama held back tears. Then from the crowd old men stepped up, folks I'd known my whole life through, and one by one they started doing something nobody expected them to do. When the auction bell rang loud that day, the town stood up instead of walking away. They bought the plows, they bought the trucks, then handed every piece right back to us. And I learned right there beneath those clouds, a man ain't rich because he's proud, he's rich because when times get rough, there's a town behind him strong enough. Mrs. Parker bought the combine that her husband used to run. The sheriff bought the cattle gates, the preacher bought a gun. Not for keeping, just for saving what we thought was gone for good. Every bid became a promise written where hope once stood. Then old Hank Wilson raised his hand for the final piece of land. Silence fell across the crowd as he made his stand. He bought the acreage outright, then turned toward my dad and said, "This farm belongs to your family, that's all that needs be said." When the auction bell rang loud that day, the town stood up instead of walking away. They bought the plows, they bought the trucks, then handed every piece right back to us. And I learned right there beneath those clouds, a man ain't rich because he's proud, he's rich because when times get rough, there's a town behind him strong enough. The rain arrived 3 days later, rolling in across the plains. Like heaven heard the voices of folks carrying each other's pain. Some things grow better than wheat fields, some things run deeper than roots. And when the world starts breaking, there's people that pull you through. Now every year when harvest comes and combines roll beneath the sun, I hear that auction bell again, echoing across the wind. Not as a sound of losing ground, but proof that love still gathers round. And if this farm outlives my days, I'll thank that town in 1,000 ways. Yeah, the auction bell still rings somehow in every golden harvest now. On a gravel road in northern Montana, where the winters cut like glass, there stood a one-room general store that somehow still managed to last. The signs faded, the floorboards grown, the coffee pot stayed warm, and folks stopped in for more than feed whenever there was a storm. Oh, Miss Evelyn ran the place since 1979. She knew every kid, every ranch, every hard and troubled time. But what folks talked about the most was a rusty iron key hanging from a nail above the door for everybody to see. Nobody locked their houses much back when the town was young, but times changed like the weather, and trust grew harder to come by. Still that key stayed hanging there through every passing year. And if you asked Miss Evelyn why, she'd smile and say it's here. For the day somebody needs it more than pride will let them say. For the day a soul gets stranded and can't find another way. And she'd pour another coffee and go back to her routine, leaving folks to wonder what she really meant. That's the key above the door for the lost and the worn, for the hearts carrying burdens they weren't meant to carry alone. When the road gets dark and lonely, when hope gets hard to find, there's still a place in this world where somebody leaves a light behind. Then came the blizzard of '08, worst anybody knew. White walls of snow swallowed fences, trucks, and every familiar view. A ranch hand named Gill got caught 30 miles from town. His engine quit, his radio died, and the temperature kept dropping down. By pure luck he found the store near midnight in the storm. The windows dark, the streets deserted, not another soul around. But there beside the entrance, hanging where it always had been, was that rusty iron key and a note tucked underneath. It said, if you're reading this tonight, come inside and get warm. There's soup in the freezer, blankets in the back room. Pay it forward when you can. That's the key above the door for the lost and the worn, for the hearts carrying burdens they weren't meant to carry alone. When the road gets dark and lonely, when hope gets hard to find, there's still a place in this world where somebody leaves a light behind. The next spring folks gathered round and asked Miss Evelyn why. She said, my daddy taught me something before the day he died. He said, kindness ain't kindness if it waits for recognition. The best things people do are usually done unseen. Now the key above the door still hangs where it hung before, and travelers tell stories about what that little town stands for. Not the mountains or the cattle, not the rivers running wide, but the simple faith that somebody will help you through the night. leaves a light behind. Every Friday after work, I'd stop at Miller's grocery store. There was an old man at register 3 who'd been there 30 years or more. Same blue vest, same crooked smile, always called me young man still. Even after my beard turned gray, he never lost that simple gift. He knew every kid by first name and every widow in the county. One December just before Christmas, a young mama stood in line. Milk, diapers, bread, and medicine. Her card got declined 3 times. She whispered, "Put the toys back." Her little boy just looked away before anybody said a word. That old cashier reached beneath the counter, pulled out an envelope, and quietly paid the whole bill. He said, "Christmas ain't something you buy, it's something you become." The whole store fell silent, except that little boy crying as he hugged his mama tight. Some people preach kindness, some people clock in and live it. The following Monday morning, Register 3 stood empty. A little handwritten sign read, "Frank retired yesterday. Thank you for 31 wonderful years." That's when we all realized nobody had ever asked who had been filling that envelope every December. 3 weeks later, the new cashier found another envelope. Inside was $500 and one short note. "If somebody needs this, don't ask their name. Signed, Frank." Now every Christmas, there's still an envelope under Register 3. Nobody knows who puts money in it anymore, because the people Frank helped started helping too. Funny how generosity works. It never really ends, it just changes hands.
Every night around 11, I'd roll across I-40 West. Coffee in the cup holder, 40,000 pounds to haul ahead. Channel 19 was mostly chatter, truck stop jokes and weather reports, till one old voice from Amarillo started checking in every night at 4. He'd say, "Breaker 19, how's everybody doing?" Like he knew us all by name. They called him Old Coyote. Nobody knew where he lived. He'd warn about black ice in Kansas, or where the highway started to drift. When somebody broke down after midnight, he was always first to call. Didn't matter who you were, he answered every call. He'd finish every conversation with "Keep the shiny side up, boys." That voice on Channel 19 got a whole lot of us back home. Through blizzards, floods, and desert nights, none of us drove alone. You never saw his face, never shook his hand, but somewhere in that radio static was the best man in the land. October he went quiet, a week, then 2, then 3. The highway sounded different without his Tennessee draw to lead. One night a rookie keyed the mic. "Anybody heard Old Coyote?" "Nothing." Then a woman answered softly, "This is Linda. He passed away last Monday." She said he loved every one of y'all, even the ones he never met. He said the highway was too lonely to let anybody drive it by themselves. Nobody talked for nearly a mile. Now every night around 11, someone checks in on Channel 19. "Breaker 19, how's everybody doing tonight?" And before signing off, every driver says, "Keep the shiny side up." Not because it's just a saying, because it's how we remember him. Yeah, some men never become famous, they just become family to thousands of strangers. Radio crackled just past midnight on Route 84 through New Mexico. My headlights painted silver lines across the desert no one seemed to know. I'd spent 10 years hauling freight trailers, sleeping more in truck stops than at home, watching birthdays through a phone screen, always somewhere down the road. That night a song came through the static, one my little daughter used to sing back when she was 5 years old, and thought I could do anything. I pulled over by an old gas station under a buzzing neon light, and for the first time in forever I sat alone and cried. That radio on Route 84 hit me harder than ever before. Made me realize what all these miles had really cost me over time. You can chase a paycheck coast to coast, cross every state from south to north, but some things get left behind when your heart ain't where you are. By sunrise I was heading east toward Oklahoma and home again, past windmills turning in the distance, past towns I'd only passed through then. When I pulled into our gravel driveway, my daughter ran out through the yard. She was nearly 16 by that summer, and suddenly I saw how much I'd missed. That radio on Route 84 hit me harder than ever before. Made me realize what all these miles had really cost me over time. You can chase a paycheck coast to coast, cross every state from south to north, but some things get left behind when your heart ain't where you are. Now I still drive, but not for weeks on end. Got a local route close to town. Sometimes success looks a whole lot different than the dreams you started out with. Yeah, that radio on Route 84 changed what I was living for. Turned a lonely highway into a sign, pointing me back to my life. Now every night when I pull in the drive and see the porch light shining warm, I thank God for one old country song and a radio on Route 84. Yeah, some roads take you far away just to show you where you belong. Country's Cafe off Route 66. There's a chair by the window, table 6. Every morning at 7, the coffee gets poured, even though nobody walks through that door. Old Joe runs the place like he always has, wipes down the counter, checks the gas, and right beside the jukebox glowing blue sits a plate nobody ever moves. Back in 2005, a young Marine named Ben, he used to stop by every Friday with his friends. He'd order chicken fried steak and peach pie too, leave $1 in the jar before he flew. Then one spring he shipped overseas, promised his mama he'd be home by Christmas Eve. But fate had different plans that year, and the whole town learned the meaning of fear. So the empty chair at table 6 still waits where he used to sit, beside the window facing west toward the sunset he loved best. And every soul who walks inside knows the reason why some heroes leave this world too soon, but they never really say goodbye. Years rolled by like freight trains in the night. Kids grew up and the town changed with time. The old gas station closed, the hardware store moved on, but that chair stayed right where it belonged. Then one July afternoon, a little boy asked why his grandpa always tipped his hat when he walked by. The old man smiled and pulled up a seat and told a story every child should keep, about the empty chair at table 6, still waiting where he used to sit, beside the window facing west toward the sunset he loved best. And every soul who walks inside knows the reason why some heroes leave this world too soon, but they never really say goodbye. No statue stands in that small town square, no headlines carry his name anymore, but sometimes the strongest monuments are the ones behind ordinary doors. A cup of coffee, a faded photo, a place nobody dares replace, because memory lives a little longer when love is given space. And the empty chair at table 6 still waits where he used to sit, while the morning sun spills through the glass, and another year quietly passes. New faces come, old faces go. That's how life unfolds, but every heart that learns his story carries a piece of him forward. Yeah, the empty chair at table 6 ain't
ain't empty after all.
There's a pair of work boots hanging from the old water tower just outside a town called Red Oak, Oklahoma. Faded leather, cracked and worn, swinging in the prairie wind since before I was born. As a kid, I'd ask my daddy every time we'd drive by, why's nobody taking those boots down from the sky? He'd just grin and say, one day you'll understand. Then he'd shift that old truck into gear and head across the land. Years later at 17, I learned the story true about a man named Caleb Ross that only old-timers knew. He worked every ranch for 50 miles around, fixing fences after storms when they came crashing down. One summer brought a wild wildfire racing through the plains, the kind that turns the daylight orange and makes grown men pray. When the flames jumped Miller Creek and headed straight for town, Caleb stayed behind to help while everybody else got out. And those shoes by the water tower still dance with the Oklahoma wind, like a reminder of a man who gave more than he had to give. Some folks leave behind a fortune, some leave a famous name, but some leave a town still standing, and that ain't a small thing. For 20 hours straight he worked with volunteers, digging lines and moving cattle through smoking fear. The fire finally turned away just north of County Road 9, and every family made it out with a little luck and time. The next morning when the danger passed and the sky turned blue, the town gathered at the diner trying to figure out what to do. The mayor climbed the ladder with Caleb standing near and tied those old work boots high above the water tower's fear. Now those shoes by the water tower still dance with the Oklahoma wind, like a reminder of a man who gave more than he had to give. Some folks leave behind a fortune, some leave a famous name, but some leave a town still standing, and that ain't a small thing. Caleb never liked attention, never made a speech or boast, said I only did what anybody would have done. But everyone knew better, 'cause when fear was running wild, he chose to stay and fight, while others ran for miles. So the shoes by the water tower still catch the evening sun, watching over fields of wheat and children out having fun. And every new generation asks why they're hanging there. Then somebody tells the story
still with us somewhere. Yeah, those shoes by the water tower still dance in the prairie air.
Every Wednesday after work, I'd stop by O'Malley's down the street. Not for the beer, not for the game, just 40 minutes off my feet. There was an old man by the jukebox, always sitting chair number 9. Same brown jacket, same black coffee, same quiet look in his eyes. We talked about the weather mostly, baseball, fishing, county fairs. Never once about the silver band he still wore after all these years. One December he missed a Wednesday, then another came and went. The waitress looked toward his empty chair and quietly said, his wife still comes every Friday. She can't bring herself to stop. That old jacket on chair number 9 still hangs there every Friday night. She drapes it over the back like always, then orders 2 slices of pie. Some people think she's holding on, some whisper she should let him go. But love don't answer to the calendar, it only answers to the soul. One snowy evening she waved me over, said, would you mind sitting here? She pushed his coffee across the table and then smiled through quiet tears. She told me how they met in '68 at a county dance in June. He promised every Friday night, I'll always save this seat for you. Now that jacket on chair number 9 means more than leather thread and time. It's every promise someone kept long after goodbye. Love don't always need a heartbeat to keep showing up each week. Sometimes forever wears an old brown coat on an empty seat. Spring rolled in with blooming dogwoods, but one Friday she wasn't there. The waitress folded up that old brown jacket and laid a single white rose on the chair.
cup still rests there sometimes, from folks who knew their story. Whenever somebody asks about them, we just smile and point that way. 'Cause in a little bar outside Savannah, love still keeps its Friday date. Yes, marriages end with a funeral. The best ones never really do.
I was 8 years old that winter, standing in Johnson's general store, staring at a baseball glove hanging by the front door. Mama counted every dollar, said maybe next paycheck, son. I smiled like I understood, but I knew there wasn't one. As we turned to leave that morning, an old man tipped his hat to me, slipped something in my little hand and said, "Don't lose your dreams." Wasn't much, just a silver dollar, smooth from passing hand to hand. He said, "Keep this in your pocket till you become the kind of man who sees another little boy looking through a store window. Then you'll know exactly where this old coin ought to go." He walked outside into the snowfall. I never learned his name. That coin in my pocket bought a whole lot more than things. It bought a promise to tomorrow, passed from stranger down to me. Sometimes the richest people never own a mansion at all. Sometimes all they leave behind is one old silver dollar. 40 years rolled by like freight trains. Now my hair is turning gray. One December just before Christmas, I saw a little boy that way, looking through the sporting goods store at a brand new catcher's mitt. His mama pulled him gently back, said, "Not this year, sweetheart." I reached inside my jacket pocket, that old coin was still there. Knelt beside him with a smile, placed it softly in his hand. He looked up and asked, "Mister, what's this for?" I heard myself say the very words, "Don't lose your dreams." Now that coin's in somebody else's pocket, just like it was meant to be. A little smaller in my world, a whole lot bigger in his dreams. Maybe someday he'll pass it onward to another kid somewhere.
silver dollar will still be changing lives.
Was a man in Amarillo everybody knew by sight, riding an old green bicycle from morning until night. No fancy truck, no business sign, no ads in any paper, just a paint-stained denim jacket and a pocket full of brushes. He'd stop at farms and trailer parks, little houses off the road, painting names on rusty mailboxes where the prairie grasses grow. $10 if you had it, free if times were running tight, and somehow every mailbox looked brand new in the evening light. Nobody knew much about him except his name was Ray. He never talked about the past or where he'd come from anyway. But every Sunday after church, he'd sit beneath the cottonwoods, sketching barns and windmills like nobody else could. Then one spring a tornado tore through Carson County hard, ripped roofs off homes and scattered lives across 100 yards. Families lost photographs, letters, keepsakes from the years, the kind of things that can't be fixed with lumber, nails, and tears. That's when the man who painted mailboxes picked up more than paint and steel. He started painting memories for folks trying to heal. Oh, wedding days and harvest moons, Grandpa standing by the fields, and every brushstroke seemed to say, some things survive if they're remembered still. For months he worked inside the church from sunrise until dark, turning faded snapshots into pieces of the heart. One by one the townsfolk came to see what he could do, and every painting brought back pieces of the lives they once knew. Then a reporter from Dallas came asking for his name, said the whole state's talking about these beautiful works he'd made. Ray just smiled and shook his head, said the story ain't about me, it's about helping people hold on to what they thought they'd never see. Yeah, the man who painted mailboxes picked up more than paint and steel. He started painting memories for folks trying to heal. Oh, wedding days and harvest moons, grandmas dancing in the fields, and every brushstroke seemed to say, some things survive if they're remembered still. When autumn came, he disappeared just as quietly as he'd arrived. Left no address, no forwarding trail, just colors that were left behind. But in the church hall hangs a sign written by a child one day. Thank you for bringing back our stories, and nobody ever took it away. Now every mailbox down those roads still shines beneath the Texas sky. But what folks talk about these days ain't the names he painted on the side. It's how one stranger showed a town that healing takes more than time. And sometimes the richest people in the world leave everything behind. Yeah, sometimes the
richest people in the world leave everything behind.
Came home early on a rainy Thursday, but still clinging to my old work boots. Your truck was there beside the porch, but another one was there too. The kitchen window glowed so warm, like every other night before. Funny how a man can lose his whole world standing at his own front door. He froze a moment that you saw me. He slipped out without a word. The silence hit a whole lot harder than anything I could have heard. Wedding pictures line the hallway, frames we'd picked out years ago. Every smile hanging on that wall belonged to people I don't know. So I left my ring there on the table, right beside the life we made. Some promises are built forever, some just slowly fade away. I didn't scream, I didn't curse, there wasn't anything to prove. Sometimes the strongest kind of goodbye is simply choosing to leave. I loaded up my old half-ton, didn't take much more than clothes. That front porch swing kept moving softly in the wind we used to know. Halfway down that gravel driveway, I look back one final time. Not because I wanted you, just to leave the hurt behind. So I left my ring there on the table, right beside the life we made. Some promises are built forever, some just slowly fade away. You can keep the house and memories, every picture on the wall. Love ain't worth begging for when it isn't love at all. Months roll by like passing boxcars, healing never comes overnight. But every sunrise found me stronger than the man who drove away that night. I learned a broken heart don't stay broken if you let tomorrow in. Yeah, I left my ring there on the table, but I found myself again. Some endings feel like losing everything,
till they become where healing begins. Now when I look back through those years, there ain't no bitterness inside, 'cause the best revenge I'd ever found was building a better life. And somewhere that old gold band still lies, but it doesn't belong to me anymore.
There was a foreclosure sign nailed to the gate, 5 rocky acres just outside Cheyenne. The barn leaned hard to the west wind, and the fences barely stood again. Everybody said, boy, don't buy that place, you'll spend your whole life chasing repairs. But I saw a porch where kids could laugh, and a future hanging in the air. I worked double shifts through the winter months, loaded feed and fixed old rigs. Every paycheck stretched like barbed wire, trying to make enough for little things. My wife planted flowers by the mailbox, though the ground was stubborn clay. She'd smile and say, give it some time, good things grow that way. All we had was 5 acres and a dream, a little faith and a lot of gasoline. More hope than money, more grit than luck, and an old red tractor that wouldn't quit. Yeah, life wasn't easy, but it felt right, building something under those Wyoming skies. Sometimes a man gets richer than he seems, with 5 acres and a dream. By year 5, the barn stood straight again. The pasture turned a healthy green. There were bicycles by the front porch steps, and little muddy boots by the screen. One evening I watched the sunset fall with my daughter sleeping on my knee, and I realized every sacrifice had become exactly what I needed. All we had was 5 acres and a dream, a little faith and a lot of gasoline. More hope than money, more grit than luck, and an old red tractor that wouldn't quit. Yeah, life wasn't easy, but it felt right, building something under those Wyoming skies. Sometimes a man gets richer than he seems, with 5 acres and a dream. The world keeps telling you bigger is better, more land, more money, more things to own. But peace don't care about square footage. Sometimes it lives where love is grown. Yeah, we started with 5 acres and a dream. Now every board and field means something to me. Every scar on my hands, every long hard day, helped build this life brick by brick. And when the stars come out above the plain, crackers and a dream. Yeah, the best things I ever held in my hands were never things at all. There's a pawn shop on the edge of Tulsa by the railroad line, where old guitars and wedding rings wait to outrun harder times. One rainy Tuesday afternoon, killing time on my lunch break, I walked inside that dusty room just to get out of the rain. Behind a shelf of hunting boots and yellowed photographs hung a battered violin with a crack across its back. A handwritten tag beneath it read, "Not for sale today." And something about that little note made me stop and stay. The owner was an old man named Charlie Reed, who'd worked that counter 40 years, maybe more than he believed. I asked him why that violin never seemed to leave the wall. He smiled and poured us both some coffee, and he told me it all. Back in '87, when the old fields went bust, a young father brought it in because he had to feed his son. Said he'd buy it back someday when life got back on track. But the years kept moving forward, and he never made it back. So the violin in the pawn shop waits, like a promise frozen in time and space, for a hand that remembers every note it knew, for a dream that never quite made it through. Some things are worth more than money can say, more than a price tag fading away. And every scar in that old wood sings of the lives we carry and little things. A month later, Charlie called me out of the blue. Said, "You ain't gonna believe who's standing here wanting news." An old man with silver hair and hands worn thin with age had walked into the shop asking about that very case. He said, "My daddy used to play that fiddle every night till hard times took it from him. When I was just a child, he passed before he got it back, but he spoke about it still, and I promised if I found it, I'd bring it home for him." Now the violin from the pawn shop sings
little things. At night the family gathered on the porch under Oklahoma stars, and for the first time in 40 years they heard their grandfather's song, not from a record or a story told, but from strings alive once more. And every note seemed to open up a long-forgotten door. Yeah, the violin from the pawn shop came home after decades wandering alone, and the music filled the spaces time had left behind. Now when the evening settles down and the crickets start their choir, that old fiddle tells a story that survives every fire. 'Cause love don't disappear with years, and dreams don't always die. Sometimes they just wait patiently for the right hands to arrive.
There's a pair of worn-out cowboy boots still sitting by the back screen door, covered in dust from 1,000 mornings, like they're waiting to walk once more. They cross the fields of western Kansas, through drought and rain and harvest time, and every scuff upon that leather marks a chapter of a life. My older brother wore those boots the first day he took over the farm, when Daddy's shoulders couldn't carry all the weight of keeping us strong. He gave up college, gave up freedom, stayed behind when he could have gone, while the rest of us chased our futures. He kept this family moving on. Those boots by the door tell a story of sacrifices nobody sees, of early mornings, broken fences, and hands worn down by duty. Yeah, heroes don't always wear medals. Sometimes they wear dust and dreams, and leave behind a trail of footprints for the rest of us to follow clean. Last spring we laid him in the churchyard, beneath the cottonwood on the hill. The whole town showed up that Sunday, and somehow the world stood still.
cried into my shoulder as the church bells softly rang. And all I could think about was how much one quiet man had changed. Those boots by the door tell a story of sacrifices nobody sees, of early mornings, broken fences, and hands worn down by duty. Yeah, heroes don't always wear medals. Sometimes they wear dust and dreams, and leave behind a trail of footprints for the rest of us to follow clean. Last week my nephew slipped them on, though they're still 3 sizes too large. He smiled and said, "One day I'll wear these." And I felt something in my heart. Yeah, those boots by the door keep speaking, though the man who wore them's gone. Through every lesson, every memory, his spirit keeps living on. And when that boy grows into them like his father did before, a new chapter will begin again with those boots by the door. Yeah, some legacies aren't written in stone. They're waiting by the door at home.
There's a little red bicycle hanging in the barn, covered in dust beneath the rafters and stars. The paint's chipped off, the tires are flat, but I can't bring myself to throw it out. I found it this morning while cleaning the loft. Sunlight pouring through the cracks, and just like that, I was 12 years old, with the whole world at my back. Daddy ran beside me down that gravel lane, one hand steady on the seat, said, "Keep your eyes where you want to go, not on the ground beneath your feet." I still remember letting go of fear as the summer wind filled my face, and hearing him laugh somewhere behind me when I finally found my pace. That bicycle in the barn takes me back to who we are,
echo forever from a bicycle in a barn. My son came out while I stood there smiling, asked Dad, what's that doing here? I pulled it down and brushed off the dust and told him stories he'd never hear. My son said we were fixing chains, pumping air into worn out tires, and for a moment 3 generations were standing in that barn together. That bicycle in the barn takes me back to who we are, before the years and all the miles, before the worries and the scars. Some things rust, some things fade, some dreams don't turn out like you planned. But a father's voice can echo forever from a bicycle in a barn. That evening down the county road, my boy wobbled, laughed and swayed, and I heard myself say the very words my daddy said that day. Keep your eyes where you wanna go. Yeah, that bicycle in the barn became more than an old memory. It carried lessons through the years like a family legacy. And when my son rode off alone with the sunset painting gold across the land, I saw my father riding with him from a bicycle in a barn. Yeah, some gifts don't come wrapped in paper. They wait for years in a dusty barn.
The scoreboard lights were flickering above the 50-yard line. October wind rolled through the stands on a cold Nebraska night. I sat alone on the top row where I used to hear them cheer. Now the bleachers felt a little bigger with every passing year. There was a time I wore that jersey with my number on the back. Thought Friday nights would last forever underneath those stadium lamps. But life moves faster than a fastball and stronger than your plans. One day you're chasing glory, next day you're shaking working hands. Now I punch the clock at sunrise at the grain mill by the tracks. Got 2 kids who wear my old cleats and a mortgage on my back. The mirror shows a little gray where the dark used to be, and the dreams I thought I'd lost are staring from the stands at me. My oldest boy ran onto the field wearing number 23. Same nervous smile I used to hide before the referee's whistle blew for me. Suddenly I understood what all those years were for. Some victories arrive much later than the ones you keep in score. Give me one more season of sunsets and small town lights, one more harvest moon hanging over Friday night, one more chance to stand beside the people I call mine. 'Cause the best things in this life don't last forever, they just borrow time. One more season of laughter, around the kitchen table. One more season of faith when life gets unstable. Every year keeps teaching me what matters most to hold. You don't count your life in trophies, you count it in the souls. The game was tied in the fourth quarter, with 2 minutes left to play. My boy threw a pass downfield, and the whole town lost its mind that day. The crowd erupted like thunder rolling across the plains. But what hit me harder was the pride running through my veins. Afterward we drove home slowly beneath the starry sky. He talked about the winning play while I just smiled and drove, because someday he'll leave this town and chase a dream beyond these roads. And when he does, I hope he learns the thing I finally know. Give me one more season of sunsets and small town lights, one more harvest moon hanging over Friday night, one more chance to stand beside the people I call mine. 'Cause the best things in this life don't last forever, they just borrow time. One more season of laughter around the kitchen table, one more season of faith when life gets unstable. Every year keeps teaching me what matters most to hold. You don't count your life in trophies, you count it in the souls. The wheat turns gold and falls away, winter comes and spring returns again. The years keep rolling like a train, but every season leaves a gift behind. And when the final whistle blows, I won't remember every score, I'll remember who was standing there when I walk through every door. So give me one more season of ordinary days, one more sunrise shining through the window's dusty haze, one more Sunday church bell echoing through the air, one more chance to tell my family just how much I care, one more season of memories still waiting to be made, one more season watching children slowly find their way. And when the good Lord calls me home beyond these fields of gold, I'll thank him for the seasons more than anything I own. Mama always kept an old brown Bible on the table by the rocking chair. Its pages smelled like cedar wood, and 30 years of whispered prayers. Every Sunday she took a 20 between the Psalms and John. I'd ask her why she never spent it. She'd just smile and carry on. She'd say, "Son, this ain't emergency money. It's for someone hurting more you'll know the day it's meant to leave. When the Lord lets your heart see. Back then I thought she was just talking, like parents sometimes do. I never guessed those simple words would one day pull me through. That $20 bill in my Bible was never really about the cash. It was faith folded between the pages, waiting for the right path. You don't measure wealth by what you're holding, all the numbers in your hand. Sometimes the richest thing you'll ever own is the chance to help someone else stand. Mama passed one cold November. Leaves were falling through the yard. While packing up her little farmhouse, I found that Bible where it was. The 20 was still tucked inside it. Saw from years of patient grace, just waiting on the next chapter in somebody else's day. Driving home through pouring rain, I saw a young man on the shoulder holding a cardboard sign that read, "Need gas to get my daughter home." I reached into that old Bible and finally understood that $20 bill in my Bible bought more than gasoline. It bought a little girl one safe ride home, and tears nobody'd seen. Now every Sunday there's another one tucked between those worn out pages. 'Cause some inherit land or money. I inherited Amazing Grace. Yeah, Mama never spent that 20. She spent a lifetime teaching me when to. Pulled off Highway 287 just after dark, dust still hanging in the Texas air. 2 weeks early from a drilling job, thinking I'd surprise her there. had roses on the passenger seat, a diamond necklace wrapped in blue. Spent 14 days counting down the hours, dreaming of getting back to you. Then I saw her Silverado parked beside a truck I didn't know. Underneath the porch light glowing like a warning I should have seen before. The screen door slammed, I heard her laugh, the same one that used to stop my heart. But that night it sounded different, like somebody tearing me apart. Her Silverado in his driveway, the pictures burned into my mind. One look was all it took to know she left our forever behind. I gave her my trust, my name, my plans, every dream I was holding tight. Now all that's left are taillights fading into the middle of the night. She tried to talk when she saw me standing there, tears already in her eyes. Said it wasn't supposed to happen, like that could make it right. I dropped the roses in the gravel, set that little blue box down, then climbed back in my old F-150 and drove without a sound. Her Silverado in his driveway, the pictures burned into my mind. One look was all it took to know she left our forever behind. I gave her my trust, my name, my plans, every dream I was holding tight. Now all that's left are taillights fading into the middle of the night. 3 months later I sold the house, moved west toward New Mexico. Some scars don't heal all at once, some wounds leave lessons in your soul. I learned that love ain't measured by the promises people make, it's what they're still protecting when nobody's awake. Yeah, her Silverado in his driveway still crosses my mind sometimes, but it don't break me like it used to. It just reminds me of that night, 'cause losing her taught me something about the man I wanna be. You can't build a future with someone who's already halfway gone to leave. So I let the memory roll away like dust across the Texas sky, and left her Silverado in his driveway, back where it belongs tonight. Cabin 12 sat at the edge of the lake, up in northern Idaho pines. Just a wooden dock, a tin roof, and a view that could stop time. Every summer since I was a boy, Daddy'd take me there in June. We'd fish till dark and tell old stories beneath the mountain moon. Then life got busy like it always does. Jobs, bills, and growing old. Years slip by without noticing, like leaves before the cold. Daddy called every now and then, son, we ought to head up there. I'd always say, maybe next summer, thinking there'd always be one to spare. But the light in cabin 12 still burns inside my mind, like a beacon from the years I lost, calling me back through time. You think forever's waiting on you, till one day it slips away, and all that's left is a porch light shining on the memories that remain. Last October we buried Daddy under a hill beside the church. And a week later I found his keys in the pocket of his work shirt. So I drove north through the mountains alone, past rivers running cold and clear. And when I reached that old cabin porch, I had to stop and wipe my tears, 'cause the light in cabin 12 still burns inside my mind, like a beacon from the years I lost, calling me back through time. You think forever's waiting on you, till one day it slips away, and all that's left is a porch light shining on the memories that remain. Inside I found his tackle box, his coffee mug beside the chair, and a note that simply read, glad you made it here. I don't know when he wrote those words, but somehow they found me right on time. Yeah, the light in cabin 12 ain't just glowing by the lake, it's every chance we get to love before it's gone someday. Now every June I bring my son, and we fish beneath those pines, while the evening settles on the water and the stars begin to shine. And when cabin 12 lights up at dusk, I swear Daddy's still there somehow, smiling from that old porch swing, watching over us now. There's a forgotten mining town tucked deep in Colorado hills, where the railway quit running and the clocks all learned to stand still. Most folks packed their lives in boxes when the silver dried away, but old Walter Green stayed behind and watched the years decay. Every evening at sundown, he'd walk the empty street, past the boarded up hotel and the church without a priest. Then he climbed the ridge above town, where the cold winds always blew, and light a lantern by the tracks like he'd done his whole life through. The story went that 40 years ago his young son disappeared on a snowstorm night in January, the worst they'd seen in years. The boy had left to catch a train and never made it there. Nobody found no final words, just questions in the mountain air. People called it foolish hope, a wound that wouldn't heal, but Walter never missed a night, no matter how he'd feel. Through blizzards, floods, and summer heat, through every passing year, that lantern kept on burning bright for someone who might appear. And the last lantern in Black Creek still shines where the old rails meet, like a promise made that never broke, like a prayer rising through the smoke. When the whole world says let go, some hearts refuse to lose their hope, so the last lantern in Black Creek burns for the one who never came home. One October evening, when the aspens turned to gold, a stranger stepped off a freight train, looking tired, gray and old. He stood beneath that lantern light with tears upon his face, and stared toward the silent town like he recognized the place. Walter heard the footsteps coming down the gravel road. At first he thought the mountain wind was playing tricks again, but when the stranger softly said, "Dad, it's finally me," 40 years of sorrow broke like rain into the sea. Lantern in Black Creek still shines where the old rails meet, like a promise made that never broke, like a prayer rising through the smoke. When the whole world says let go, some hearts refuse to lose their hope, and the last lantern in Black Creek burned long enough to bring him home. No one ever learned the whole story, where the years had taken him away. Some mysteries belong to heaven, and some are better left that way. But every soul in that old town still talks about that autumn night, when hope outlived the hands of time and faith outshined the dark. Now the lantern's gone from Black Creek, the tracks lie quiet in their sleep, but the legend travels mountain winds through
and that sometimes love keeps waiting long after reason says it's done. And sometimes one small light can guide a lost heart safely home. Yeah, sometimes one small light can guide a lost heart safely home.